Hey everyone, welcome back to another description of a video requested by one of my friends. Request what's shared, supported, like shared living is like. Now there's different ways of doing this. The first way of doing it is through, like, if the landlord's rented a room out, say it's a 4-bedroom house. There's like four of you in a house. Also you'll share the bathroom, kitchen and the living room, but you'll have your own room. Now, I had no other choice to do this when I was working and when I was at college. Now, bearing in mind, college was about 3 or 4 times a week. But it was a 3-day week at one point until, I think it was last year, they changed it to a 4-day week because of the government. But I did a shared accommodation with 3 other lads. Now, there's some extent where you get along with them and sometimes you don't. Now, I got along with one of them called Aaron. And he was an absolute kind soul. He wouldn't be noisy. He was probably one of the nicest ones, but then I was on the first floor, so I was literally between the ground floor and the top floor. Now, when I lived in that house, things would go wrong. So a lot of it was based on like a rodent problem, to ceiling collapsing, to a radiator problem, to many more things. If you ask my roommate Aaron, he will tell you the list of things that went wrong was unreal. And sometimes the guys didn't do the job right when we asked them to. Took them probably like 3 or 4 months to fix put a new shower head on and to put a new curtain rail up for the shower. And it shouldn't take that long. I don't fault the landlord at any point because he's been a very understanding landlord. And as someone with a disability, living in a shared accommodation like that can be difficult. And it can be overwhelming for many people. Yes, when you live in that sort of sector, you don't get much sleep. I know I didn't. But there's a guy upstairs called Brandon who absolutely did my nutting. Because he'd be up all night gaming till like 4 a.m. Bearing in mind I'd been at work that same day. And I just wanted to sleep. He was very inconsiderate with people. And he'd game all day, all night and sleep for the day. That might be convenient for him, but not for the rest of us. Now, a lot of people didn't mind, but I could hear it through the ceiling. But I lost the best part of my sleep in that house because of that guy. Don't get me wrong, he's a nice guy, but he drove me up the wall. So there's that aspect of supported living or shared accommodation. Now, mine wasn't supported living because it wasn't through social services. Now, we did have a young lass called Steph, and I think she's on my TikTok, and she was lovely, so I quite enjoyed having her upstairs. So there is some things about shared house where you just make friends for life, and you keep that, and that's what I've done. Maybe not so much with Brandon because he absolutely drove me nuts because I lost my sleep because of him, and I'd always go to college half asleep and barely awake, so I'd always get questioned to why, and I did explain to them that because of people upstairs. At the time we had the guy, and they were like, not fair on you, is it really? And I was like, no. So whenever I was in Lancaster, I didn't sleep because people were moving around and the floor creaks. But there's like this type of shared house it trains you know how to look after a house, so you know for future if you want to do that, like own your own house or flat or whatever. Now, for me, I got the independent side of things to know how to run the place, like pay the rent, you name it. But it was a lot to do, so many jobs to do, and trying to remember many more things to get done with guys coming out to fix things. So there's that aspect when you do it on your own with basically not with a support worker, I guess, but now it's turned into like a supported living, but not with carers coming in and out. So 3 of them have support workers. Now I got asked if I wanted one, and because I wasn't registered a GP down there, it didn't seem right to me because I'm not always there. So I basically communicated with my specialist team up here to basically just do what I can. Ideally, I did have my social worker come out and actually look at things. She wanted me on the ground floor, but that wasn't doable at the time. So, and actually, I did fall down the staircase about 3 times because it's a spiral stairs. For anyone that's been to the Ridge House with me, you know they will back me up on this. My stairs were a death sentence because of what it is. But in modern society, why do we have spiral stairs? That's my question. Now, obviously, in Newcastle, I live in a bungalow, so it's all easy to get things done. Now, my room is in progress of being done. So, would I do supported living or a shared accommodation again? No. I would not do it again. If it's the same system of what I went through, no. Now, there is some supported livings where you live in a house with probably 3 other people and you have carers coming in and out just to see on you how you're doing. That's fine. Because I know my friend Erin, she lives in like this big flat thing. It's a big building, so everyone's got their own flat, bedroom, kitchen, you name it. And she lives in this. She has carers throughout the day, so she has one designed for the day and the night, which is good for her and it's suited for her. If that was me, not really, because I'm quite independent to some extent to know what I'm doing. Now, obviously, because I've got epilepsy and it is back, there's a big risk in it. So, me living at home is a better option for me. But if you want to do supported living or do shared accommodation, be my guest. You don't know if you'll like it or not unless you try, and that's what I did. Now, I did like it to some extent because it was giving me independence that was within my limit. But it's not something I do long term. Because it's just... So, that's my overall review. Now, if that is going to help you in any form of way, you're welcome. But if you want to message me about it more and want me to do more detailed about the house I lived in, let me know. So, I can't think what my next video is going to be. Can't think. I have got a list of film content in my phone somewhere, but the reason why I stopped the video before is because the guy who was coming to take my car away is here. He did try to ring me, bless him, and he said he knows that he needs a jump start. So I appreciate mobility for this. Now, if you want me to do a video on like the car itself and how I feel about it, I will do, if you want me to. But yeah, it's sad to see this car go because it's a really good model. But hey ho. But I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you soon.